Oh, you are going to be so, like, literally disgusted by something at the beginning of this week. Honestly, there is no other way of saying this, my gorgeous Sagittarini. So this reading is, of course, in between the 13th and the 19th of March 2023, where right at the beginning of this week, you are going to be so kind of disgusted by something like there is no tomorrow. But what are you actually going to be disgusted about? You must not allow this to like distract you. You must not allow this to confuse you. You just literally have to keep going, because what you will not know is that that particular thing which you are going to be disgusted about, it's actually going to play an important role in your life, because that particular thing, it's actually going to help you to understand what you didn't understand before, especially when it comes to, like, the specific obstacle in your life that brought so many problems, and in particular it was a lot to do with some kind of delays. Now this is all going to be somehow connected. This is not what you are going to be disgusted about, but what exactly you are going to be disgusted about. This is really going to work in your favor, because very soon after that moment in time, this in itself is going to bring an important clarity. This in itself is going to open your eyes. This in itself is going to help you to understand things you didn't understand, and that in itself it's really help you to kind of like really come up with a solution when it comes to this ongoing problem in your life that created an obstacle, problems, because something was delayed for such a long time, something that you've been waiting for, perhaps something that you've been working on. So this in itself is giving you such a powerful control over that particular situation, which is of course going to reflect on your strength. It's going to reflect on your courage. It's going to reflect on your determination, and most importantly, it's going to reflect on your confidence as well. This in itself is going to be so important, because at the same time, my gorgeous Sagittarini, what you're going to be working on here, and what you're gonna realize is that now it's like basically it's all about you basically, understanding that, tact is now necessary in order to maintain pace. So, what you need to understand is that this will give you a clear idea what to be tactical about and what to avoid. This in itself is going to be so perfect for you, because it's going to give you an idea, a clear idea, what to work on, what to be tactical about, and most importantly, what to avoid. This is going to be so perfect when it comes to you bringing such a beautiful harmony into your life. This is going to bring such a powerful healing energy, which is almost immediately going to make you feel so peaceful. What you need to understand is, my gorgeous Sagittarini, that basically when it comes to the beginning of this week, you are really going to remove some kind of restriction out of your life. Something was restricting you for way too long, and how you're going to understand and realize what is restricting you. You have to pay attention to the beginning of this week. You need to pay attention to the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Sagittarini, because by paying attention to the actual synchronicity, by paying attention to the actual repetitive signs, there are signs that are going to be keep on and repeating and repeating and repeating, my gorgeous Sagittarini, until you become aware of them. It's all about your own awareness, and it's all about the power of synchronicity. So this is what you need to pay attention to. By paying attention to these synchronicities, to these repetitive signs that you are going to have at the beginning of this week, this in itself, it's going to not only guide you towards the right direction in life, towards the right path in life, but at the same time, it's going to guide you towards you making the best possible decision when it comes to one of the most annoying restrictions of your life. The restrictions are not good at all, because when we find ourselves feeling and being restricted, then that means that we are not using our full energy. That means that we are not perhaps even honest with ourselves. And that means that we are doing things that we don't want to do. We do things that we have to do, but we are not doing those things that we should be focusing on in order to grow, in order to achieve the most on the spiritual journey. And that in itself means that this particular restriction that I'm talking about was really affecting you from following your passion, and you didn't succeed as much as you wanted to succeed, and you didn't succeed as much as you were like kind of hoping to succeed when it comes to certain parts and certain elements of your life, just because of that particular restriction that I'm talking about. So this is something that you really need to work on. And it's also at the same time, it's just something that you must, for the love of God, you just have to pay attention to the power of the actual synchronicity. This in itself is very, very important. And also, when it comes to the first part of this week, please do pay attention to the very unusual dream that you are going to have again. There is something going to be so unusual about that dream, something so weird about that dream. And the part of that dream, it's also going to be somebody like completely kind of XYZ person, somebody completely out of blue, somebody who hasn't got much to do with your life. But it's not about that person, it's about what that person is, who that person is, what this person is doing, and what are they currently achieving. There is some kind of indication that you are going to have something that's missing in your life. It's also going to be revealed through that particular dream. Very powerful dream, very unusual dream, very confusing dream. But then again, it's always the same. You just need to unlock the power within by following your intuition and seeing what you're being drawn to when it comes to that particular dream, because that in itself is revealing exactly something very specific missing in your life, that it's going to be more beneficial than you can possibly imagine once you bring this into your life. This in itself is going to be very important, because you are going to realize how much you've actually changed in the best possible way, how much you matured, how much you kind of changed your views, about yourself and about the world around you. You have been prepared for this moment for a very long time, and this is going to, you are going to feel like you're gaining momentum here just by thinking about it. Indeed. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Sagittarini, I like this quite a lot. Do you know why? Because it's like you are really going to realize what exactly do you need to do. Now, this is very personal, and it's to do with something that is very personal to you, but it's a lot to do with a great skill. You're going to realize how good you are at something. I'm not saying that you didn't realize that before, okay? I'm not saying that, but something is going to change at around the midweek, and you are going to have an absolutely fantastic, brilliant news. And this brilliant news that you're going to have, it's going to make you feel so good about yourself, baby. It's going to make you elevate like a big mama. You're going to be elevating like a big heavy mama. Do you know what I mean? And that in itself means that this news that you're going to have, you're going to feel very pleased with yourself. You're going to feel like you accomplished something really specific, really particular. It's not going to be massive, huge, enormous, but you're still going to feel good. And you're going to find yourself thinking, oh my God, this is not even like such an amazing news, but I'm so happy about it. You're going to find yourself like in that element where you're going to be thinking like, oh my God, I'm so happy about this. I'm so excited about this. I can't believe I'm so happy about this. And this is why, because your soul wants you to like kind of like pay attention to this. Okay, so your spirit, your soul will want you to recognize this. So that's why you're going to feel so passionate about. The bottom line is there's something that you're able to do, and you're so great at it. You're so great at it. Every single one of us is good for something. And please, like, there are so many people who bring themselves down. There are lots of people who put themselves down and bring themselves down. And I always try to pick them up. Lots of people say, oh, I'm not good for anything. No, baby, no. Every single person in this world is good for something. Everybody is special when it comes to something very specific in their lives. That could be things spiritual, That could be like playing piano or playing like some kind of instrument. It could be singing, you know. It could be like everybody's like a great for something. So this is just about like kind of not, I would not say like discovering yourself, but it's more like about rediscovering yourself and feeling so like kind of magnificent about it. So this is what you need to remember, my gorgeous Sagittarini, that around the midweek you're gonna like be thinking about this great skill that you have. This is gonna be revealed to you, and you will know what am I talking about. You will know what am I talking about like there is no tomorrow. Trust me. Why? Because it's going to give you like such a desire and determination and this absolutely mind-blowing strong willpower, and that in itself, it's really kind of going to highlight this intelligent choice through your own desire, through your own will. And this will also help you to realize, you know, certain goals as well. This is going to be absolutely magnificent when it comes to you accomplishing such a powerful stage in your life and being aware of it. But at the same time, this is going to really bring such a powerful material gain into your life. This is also going to lead towards you like having a solid foundation, for example, or creating something with a powerful starting point here, like a solid foundation in particular, specifically when it comes to this materialistic gain in your life. And also, my gorgeous Sagittarini, you know, it's like basically by the time you get to the last part of this week, it's like another thing I was going to say to you, because we seem to go to this energy, to this vibration, to this dimension again when we do something really good to ourselves, like in particular when it comes to meditation, or when we do something really spiritual. But in particular when it comes to the actual meditation, whether you prefer to meditate and relax and do whatever at home, or whether you prefer to go like somewhere to be within the nature, which is like something that I highly absolutely 1,000,000% recommend, because we are part of the nature is part of us. We are pretty much so combined together in so many different levels, in terms of our spirituality, in terms of our energy. There is so much that we gain from one another. You're going to ask me like, what is nature gaining from us? Don't worry, I know exactly what am I talking about here, especially when it comes to you kind of gaining a very sacred balance through the actual nature. I know you're going to tell me, and I'm going to on about it again, but if you do go and visit the nature in between the 18th and the 19th of March, on the 18th and the 19th of March, you need to understand, like you don't have to necessarily visit the nature. You can also like kind of try to do things at home, like in terms of meditation, relaxing and chilling out, you know, and it really depends. So if you can't go visit the nature, then you can do this at home, you know, just relax and meditate a little bit. And the reason why am I saying this, because this is again happening when it comes to this week. There is something like really amazing going to come to you. There is some kind of intuitive message that you are going to have at the time of that meditation or at the time of that relaxation. The reason for that is because there are going to be very specific energies around within these 2 particular days, in particular when it comes to your sign. And that in itself means that subconsciously something really amazing is going to happen. You are about to move the mountain, baby, subconsciously by doing this, because you are going to send a very kind of powerful sign, away, which is going to return, which is going to bounce back with you having a very kind of like a mind-blowing idea here. And this is going to come to you as an intuitive psychic message, but it's going to happen at the time when you're like really kind of meditating, relaxing, chilling out, you know what I mean, or being within the forest, being within the nature, just relaxing, touching the ground a little bit with your bare hands if you possibly can. Feel the vibe, feel the energy, feel the vibration, and see what's going to come back in return. Absolutely mind-blowing. You know, when I say this, you should definitely do it, my gorgeous Sagittarini, indeed. And also, when it comes to the last part of this week, you know, you are really kind of going to have a very kind of not related to that, not related to this what I've just said right now, but at around the end of the week also there is going to be such a like an important and interesting realization that you are going to have. And that particular important and interesting realization that you are going to have, you know, it's kind of going to that moment in time you're going to realize, oh my God, if I didn't overcome something very difficult, something really terrible, something really bad, I wouldn't have this realization. So this is going going to be such a giant moment for you, such a powerful moment where you're going to remind yourself that you've been through something very, very difficult quite a while back. You've been through something very difficult, like, oh my goodness, within the last few years, or maybe even longer. You've been through something so difficult, and something affected you to the point that you didn't even realize how much this actually affected you. Only now, with this realization, somehow you're going to open your eyes and you're going to become aware of how much this actually affected you. So this is going to be brilliant, because you're going to realize that you overcame something. And this is so significant, because that subconsciously, this was at the back of your mind, and it was preventing yourself to be yourself, especially when it comes to you being open to new opportunities and things like that. This was like kind of like a really keeping you down and keeping your hands, tied at the back. So this is why this is so important. And also, my gorgeous Sagittarini, when it comes to the end of this week, you are going to have such an important conversation with someone who is very, very close to you. It's going to start like a nice convo, just a joke and this and that. And then the conversation is going to go into something really deep. And then you are really going to be happy that you are going to say something to this person who's close to you, something very personal to you, something that you're very sensitive about. And you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. And you're going to love the fact how much this person is actually going to be able to understand you. And this in itself is brilliant, because at the same time, through that person, you are going to understand the power of the actual cooperation. And this, what you're going to understand now, it's also going to seem like kind of significant to you, but you will see within the next few weeks, you will also be going through the situation where you are really going to win and respond in a particular way, because you learned something out of this. Otherwise, you wouldn't respond to a very important situation, in the way you're going to respond. I really hope that this makes sense, but it's brilliant. But also, when you have that important conversation with that person at around the end of the week, what you also need to understand is that, you will kind of really get you will understand what exactly would be the best thing, to invest at this stage of your life. You will know what to invest to, or what to invest towards. And on another hand, there is going to be an unexpected situation that it's also going to happen at around the end of the week. And this unexpected situation, it's really kind of going to be more about you, first of all, realizing that you're approaching the end of some kind of a problem. But then again, at the same time, this is really going to surprise you, because it's not about you approaching the end of some kind of a problem here, again another problem, but then it's more to do this problem. It's more to do with maybe people in your life, and things like that, and someone very specific. I think it's to do with somebody very specific in your life that was giving you problems and bringing you problems. This is strictly on emotional level. So this is going to happen completely out of the blue. You had a problem with somebody specific in your life. Maybe this is your child, maybe this is your friend, maybe this is your family member. Whoever this is, this problem is actually going to come to an end, and this is absolutely brilliant. This is going to mean to you so much, but then at the same time, this in itself, it's kind of going to be such a powerful moment in time, because you are going to be really happy because of this. Whatever this is, whoever this is, this is going to make you feel so happy. And it's you're not going to need to worry about this particular person, because you were worried about this particular person quite a lot. So something is really going to be resolved here, and you are going to be really, really pleased indeed. And also, my gorgeous Sagittarini, this in itself, it's not only about that. When you realize that you're approaching the end of a problem, when it comes to someone very specific in your life, you're also going to you will see that not that long after that moment in time, within the next few hours, your mind is suddenly going to be you're going to become so open-minded, and there is something very specific going to be on your mind to learn, and you will not even be able to understand that the problem in between you and that person that you had for a while was affecting you in such a way where you were kind of keeping low and keeping down when you should have been going forward. So this in itself is going to be a clear sign and indication that there is something that you need to learn. There is something that you need to learn. But the bottom line is that by the end of the day, on the 19th of March, by the end of the day, on the 19th of March 2023, you are gonna feel how you want to explore something, how you want to read up more about something, how you want to try something, how you want to like kind of begin some kind of journey with something. You have to take this on like almost immediately. You need to put this as a priority, as a number one in your life, because if you forget about it now, you don't understand the importance of this. This is going to be keep on bouncing back, but it's only going to be slowing you down if you don't acknowledge it now. So, I mean, it's going to slow you down that within the few months down on the line, you are going to have, if you don't go for it now, you're going to have an opportunity again. But then if you went for it in the first place, then, you know, can you imagine in terms of development, how much more you could have done by, you know, getting to that point? Like, oh God, I'm going to try it again. Do you know what I mean? So this is why this is so important for you to connect to it immediately, where you feel like you want to learn, you want to find out, you want to investigate further. Like, oh my God. Okay, my gorgeous Sagittarini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.